world of professional wrestling. Learn the ins and the outs of the storylines, the talent on each platform. Let me tell you something, brother. Airs every second for Tuesday of each month, right here, 7:15 p.m. Central. Brother, tonight, surviving the Survivor Series.
I am the Ayatollah of Jack and Cola, Tom Odell, and this is SG3. Woo! I hope his mic is muted. So
and it's not muted. It's loud and clear for everyone to hear. It is muted. It's muted. It's SG3.
Oh, no. That was the terms and conditions. Being a guest on my show, the best show, the highest rated show on 216 The Net.
Only on Tuesdays.
We beat you head to head. No problem. It'd be like Raw Nitro over again, but it wouldn't even be comparable. It'd be like Raw against TNA. That's when they went live. That'd be it. That'd be the comparison. We're Raw, you guys are TNA, and us.
Cool.
No.
Never anything wrong with
TNA Impact Wrestling. So I gotta get something off my chest again, Kent.
Yeah.
Last time you weren't here, the producer, the executive producer wasn't here, and we had Tony the Kid, who's not a kid, a grown-ass adult, being our producer for that day. I'm looking at this TV. Where's my damn sponsorship logo? Where's our logo? I sent you the stuff.
I mean, I got it.
You got it somewhere, but it's like, what's up with that, man? This is how you treat your star?
The new contract starts after the holiday.
No, January 1st. I'm a free agent.
December 1st.
All right. So, we have Survivor Series coming up, which is one of the WWE's top 4 pay-per-views in their era since the late 80s. Interesting. This year it's on a Saturday right after Thanksgiving. We've had it on the Wednesday. It's been actually on Thanksgiving Day, the Sunday before. But now, what the hell is he wearing on that?
I have a cold. Okay, I'm trying to stay warm.
What, you're in your
garage?
You sound terrible.
You sound terrible. You sound like you're in your garage. You sound like you're like
hotspot.
No, I'm here just chillaxing in the kids' room, and
it sounds like a Wendy's drive-through.
Yeah, might be the volume on there. How that sound now?
You can't even hear yourself, man.
That would be great if that was SG3's mic right now, or we just gotta.
I gotta take him out of there. You gotta get faster internet or something. You're tripping out over there. You're breaking in and out. We'll bring it back in. Is that better?
How's that now?
All right, what is that?
Zach Attack. He said it's a 9 cents. Tony the Kid.
Bullshit, Zach Attack. This is Tom's damn show, not his. What are you telling me? Man, you guys are trying to hijack my show now. I see.
I'm just over here reading. What do you want me to do?
It's like the Outsiders invading WCW Nitro. You guys are trying to come in, take in. You guys are.
Why do you think I'm wearing the shirt?
I know.
I think it's more of the DX coming in and knocking on the door and stuff like that to the WCW backstage pass.
Really
I can't hear you, man.
Hey, Tony the Kid, you're gonna have to pop out and try to pop back in because we
you
got
can't.
Miserable.
Man, I wish that happened to my ex-wife's phone.
You need a producer for that.
I do. Hey, you want to be a filter? I'm kidding. It's a joke. If anyone can take a joke.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment, baby.
That's it.
You just laughing over it.
So Survivor Series coming up this Saturday.
And they're doing War Games, which was a WCW-based pay-per-view by Dusty Rhodes years ago.
Many years ago.
I think it was actually their November pay-per-view at the time.
We got Dusty Rhodes up there.
He's up on the wall of the card.
Yes,
interesting concept. It seemed like they kind of rushed the main event. Like you already knew Bloodline was going to be the one faction.
Yeah.
and who was going to go up against them. It was kind of like you had all these rumors who would do it or who wouldn't do it.
I just feel that the main reason why they had to rush it though is you just had Crown Jewel like what 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. So to build the show in that much time, I feel like they're just trying to get into like separating the two storylines, like one's for Survivor Series, one's for Crown Jewel, one's for Next.
And it's like, in the way you do that, how they usually do it is they build it from that pay-per-view or the night after. Now this one almost seemed like, okay, you had Drew McIntyre and Sheamus fighting for how long? They're like, okay, we're going to just be buddies and we're going to go against Bloodline now. And hey, let's throw Kevin Owens in. And this is our group. It's kind of like,
I mean, the same thing with the women.
I would rather have seen, well, the same thing with the women. Yeah. It's like, they're just, I feel like this is almost like a Vince McMahon-esque pay-per-view, the way how it's been thrown together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like, again, they try to focus way too much on Crown Jewel. So it's like this one got pushed to the side, and it's like, I get it. Crown Jewel does pay more.
All right.
But at the same time, though, you should have where it's like, all right, cool. We're going to, as you stated, based off the pay-per-view or based off the next Monday, let's start building from there. You have a weekly show, so why not? Tony the Kid, welcome back with your silly hat.
Why, thank you. Can you hear me now?
Hey! All right. Hey!
What is that, a beaver? You're wearing a beaver on your head? What is that?
I thought that was
I'm wearing an old school Russian hat, or whatever winter hat they got on. I need to sweat it out. I got a cold. I got to sweat it out, get it released, get all this fumes out of my toxin. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Toxicity body?
Yeah, exactly. So yes, thank y'all for having me. Thank you for having me. Well, I'm glad to be on the show with you guys.
Yeah. Just keep talking.
You better listen to the producer, boy.
Producer,
that's right.
I can mute him.
There you go.
So,
look, you've been muted,
yeah.
by the way.
Now mute us, G3.
Here he goes. I feel that's gonna be a hashtag whenever you comment on our
It
show.
will always be like,
Awesome.
Right.
So yeah, this weekend with Survivor Series with the whole like kind of rush feud to go against the Bloodline. Like I thought like, okay, maybe you can get Judgment Day or something, or they already have a faction going on or something a little different than just like, oh, we're just going to throw in the Brawling Brutes and then Drew McIntyre and KO. It's like they had nothing for them.
No, they didn't. And I feel like, again, going based off what you said, I feel like it's just one of those, like, it's a filler more than anything.
Right.
It's just on, and again, with the women as well, it's just a filler, though.
There's no championships are being defended.
None.
I mean, is the Intercontinental? Oh, no, I'm sorry. The United States Championship is in the three-way, whatever.
I finally are putting some other things to it.
But,
Intercontinental's not being defended. Because I feel like Gunther's opponent is now in the main event. What else? Mia Kim came in as a fourth. There's Chelsea Green is teasing herself as a fifth member. How do you feel about that?
I'm hearing Becky Lynch now.
You see, Chelsea Green tweeted it though. How would you feel about, like, what was her name back in NXT?
It doesn't matter what her name was.
There you go. Whatever her name is. Have you seen it, Tony the Kid? Have you seen the tweet I'm talking about?
I only saw the pictures. I didn't get to look at the whole full article of it, but it seems like they're going back and forth on there.
So that's why, like, she posted like a picture of the four, and then she posted herself with Stephanie. She's like, how would you feel if I came back and was that fifth mystery member to, like, complete that team? I'm like, oh, okay.
That to me almost sounds like Lana-esque a few years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that, where she would go and try to, like, get her own little feud going or a little bit of star power and, like, hey, don't do that. I think Naomi was like another one that would do that quite a bit.
Naomi was everything was trying to put herself in the limelight.
Try to put a limelight, like, hey, nope, like, don't do that again.
Well, that's the abuse of the social media status. I think, especially with some of the wrestlers, you kind of have to stop overdoing the social media, and you got to be mindful of the more that you put yourself out there, you're going to get yourself into trouble by talking a little too much.
And definitely, and then they're going to throw you in the doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
And have your job, guys, and you lose your push, and it's just like, and especially if you don't get any reaction, like right now, what's going on with Baron Corbin, he's in trouble.
Can we talk about Gargano? The change?
We'd talk about that too.
Music, and then got squashed.
No, I mean, it's just like, is Vince really gone?
Well, Yeah, because Sports Kita came out with an article today.
How long have you been with that one?
Sports Kita came out today with an article where they said that.
Oh, Dave's theme song.
There it is. Where they were saying that with what he did at Gargano, what Triple H did to the Gargano, that was like one of his biggest L's that he's ever done.
Yep.
It's like you not only changed the song, which now we're not used to it anymore,
Right.
but
Don't know it's him, and he kind of acts like just an ass when he's talking now, and annoying, and like you don't like the guy. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be a face, and it's like he's just annoying.
I think
now is that them going heel? Do you think they're trying to turn him into a heel standard because the Miz is going face?
I think he's trying to be a face with some sarcasm, but it's just not coming across that way. His feud with the Miz right now and Dexter Lumis, it's like he just seems more of a smartass than a likable guy.
I feel like they're doing it to make, because you got the quiet guy, you got the Miz, which is the heel smartass.
Right.
So have the face smartass. However, they wouldn't have done that one. Keep working on what he is, because he was getting a crowd reaction all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like he's trying to match the Miz's mic level, if that kind of makes sense.
And he can't.
He can't. No,
Yeah.
man. The Miz is great on the mic.
Right. I would say that.
Top 5.
Hey, look, I agree with SG3.
Hey, there you go. Cool.
You get a point.
Mark that in the history books, everybody. Mark that in the history books.
November 22nd.
It's funny. Now, speaking on that though, what's are we saying that the War Games, the Survivor Series, this one, even though that it was announced to be a very fan favorite type of event, that the way they're doing the card doesn't seem like it's going to be that picture, I guess you would say.
It looks to me like, if you remember the In Your House kind of pay-per-views, that like throwaway, payback, or whatever.
Yeah.
This used to be one of your premier 4 pay-per-views.
Aren't they doing it at the Garden this year?
It's at Boston.
Yeah, it's at the Garden.
Boston Garden or wherever.
Yeah. So it's like it's at the TD Garden. So it's
Trade Center.
It's supposed to be huge. And I'm like, it's one of your top 4. You build it right after SummerSlam as your next one. And then this leads you right into the Royal Rumble.
And sometimes they had it where like it started feuds up to WrestleMania, beginning of feuds or whatever. And this one, I mean, they may do. I have a feeling they'll probably do something with the Bloodline with Sammy and Jay.
But at this point, though, they're not even building anything going into Royal Rumble because there's no pay-per-view in December.
Right. And day 1 got canceled.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be their big thing in Georgia. And then that got removed or whatever for whatever reason. And yeah, so like right now it's Saturday and then nothing. Until January. And then you got like, what is Elimination Chamber or whatever they usually do in February. March, maybe like a fast lane or whatever the hell that is. And then then WrestleMania. 2 night, 8 hours each night of WrestleMania.
Okay, which is, I guess you would have to say it's pretty. I guess we would have to say it's pretty disappointing because when it was announced with the whole War Games that it was going to be a highlight event. I think everyone was excited. Oh, okay, great, we're going to get War Games now. Same time they did Halloween Havoc when they announced that going around. So it's like, okay, great. We're going to get some really good pay-per-views that we wanted to see from the get-go and wanted to see the new reign of Triple H. But now how things are shaping up, doesn't seem like we're going to get that picture. And it sucks, I guess you would have to say.
Quick little research.
Let the producers speak, please.
So the WWE on their pay-per-views in 2021. So in 2021.
Okay.
In the first quarter, they made $263.5 million. In the second quarter, they made $265.6 million. In the third quarter, they made $255.8 million. And in the fourth quarter, they made $310 million. So each quarter on these pay-per-views, because if you're thinking they have too many of them, they're making $1 billion a year.
Well, the Crown Jewel alone, they're making
billion. That's with a B.
That's where Crown Jewel, they're making a big chunk. That's where that big number came in.
Quarter.
Yeah,
that's the fourth quarter.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where they have that big contract. I mean, I say each year now the card seems to be getting better. Right.
It has improved.
It has improved. The talent, the wrestling matches have improved on there as well.
the matches for sure.
That's a billion.
I guess.
So, but now, okay. Now the question is: are you going to sacrifice Survivor Series for Crown Jewel?
No, you're not going to do that.
Because it's not.
That's what they did.
It's looking like it is. If you think about it, for like the last couple of years, Crown Jewel's been getting like the better matches, the better
talent,
talent and stuff. And then you look at Survivor Series, and it's like it's not a Survivor Series anymore.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It feels like the In Your House, where it's like, oh, here's your triple threat match for U.S. Championship, and it's not even your traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. I don't even think they have one this year.
No, and I think
it's just the War Games.
They replaced it with War Games,
right?
Like, I feel that right now, I don't know, Tony the Kid, I don't know if you've been watching on social media, but like if you go on WWE's Instagram, they've just been highlighting like nonstop crazy Bianca Belair's 2019 War Games match. Io Sky 2019 War Games match. Like they've just been doing
KO in there too.
Yeah, they've just been tossing like just nothing but like a 5-10 second highlight of what was War Games, just like to hype you up for it. That's what I'm like.
I think what we would have to look at this, have a look at this. The talent that we have on that card as of now, that Triple H in the back end is really telling these guys and saying, hey, you know, we don't have all the big names so much to say on this card. But that being said, you guys have this time and, you know, space for yourselves to make a name, make a noise in there. This is one of our first, I guess you would say, you know, switching over from Survivor Series, having War Games implemented in there. You guys got to go out there and do something with this match. So we may not agree with the matches that are on there, but I think it's very interesting to say the least that who's ever in it is going to be doing something different and exciting.
Well, how many matches so far confirmed for the pay-per-view aside for the 2 War Games and
triple threat? You got the match I am looking forward to is AJ and Finn.
That's going to be a good match.
That'll probably be the show stealer.
There's no outside interference.
Right.
Oh, there will be.
Let them just wrestle.
I think with Rhea now being involved in the women's match, it kind of takes her out of the picture. I mean, you got AJ with his backup crew now. So, I mean, there may be some interference, but they'll kind of intertwine with each other, and spill it out. But to me, that's the match I'm most looking forward to.
I think it's going to be more technical, to be honest. It's going to be back.
And that's since like Triple H has taken over, we've been getting a lot more of those technical matches on Raw and SmackDown. We're actually getting matches, 20-minute matches. It's like, whoa. It's done before the first commercial break. And now we're getting one where it's lasting 2 or 3 commercial breaks. Some of them way too long, but
I think that's what we missed as wrestling fans.
Right.
What about, you know what? This is completely random and completely off topic, but speaking on time limit, how do you feel that AEW? I'm promoting your company.
Look at this. Hey, we're getting AEW talk. It is only not even 20 minutes into the show.
Got you. So how do you feel about the AEW sets a time limit versus WWE no time limit? How do you feel about that?
I like the time limit.
Okay.
And so like what they did, what was brilliant, what I want to say was with Bryan Danielson, when he came back, him and Kenny Omega went to the draw. Time expired and it wanted you wanting more. That's kind of the old school, late 70s, early 80s kind of matches where these guys would just go head to head and fight to the draw, 20-minute, 30-minute, whatever the time limit was for those matches. And you wanted more. And it's kind of funny how wrestling always seems to have this evolution circle or cycle of going back to what it's done in the past. And right now we're getting more of that technical wrestling again. We're getting more of the smaller guys, not so much the big guys in a way. It's almost like the Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels era. I feel like we're going through right now.
Makes sense.
Can't get through a show without mentioning Bret Hart.
The excellence of execution, the best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be.
I agree with him on that.
Turn up.
I agree too. I agree too.
And here's a fun fact for you, Kent, Mr. Anti-Hitman, Goldberg, kicking whatever fucker. So did you know Bret Hart was the first wrestler to go through a table?
Was he?
I did not know.
What?
On a pay-per-view.
On a pay-per-view.
On a WWE pay-per-view, WWF pay-per-view. Is actually Survivor Series against Diesel.
Wow.
And then
More
ever
you know,
since
the
then, they
further
had
you
more
go.
tables. The announcing table has always been the spot.
Why is it always going to be the Spanish announce table, though, man? That's my question. Why is it always going to be my people?
I'm agree with SG3 here, man. I noticed that too when they were doing a lot of that. I'm like, what's up with that? Why we get trashed over here? It's not cool.
It's funny back then, you know, with Vince and stuff, but
They just did it in Saudi Arabia. What are you talking about?
Damn, man.
The table that I went through was a Saudi table.
Yes.
Yeah, but racism was funny.
that's it with Vince. It's
I mean, that's pretty good though.
racism funny.
That'll be it. Bridging civil tension.
Please cut that clip and put it right on there with him saying it. Please mute his mic.
You know, I mean, you had Dave Chappelle. He had all the jokes. They were funny and stuff. I mean, we were able to laugh about that kind of stuff.
Right. Wait, SG3, did you bring up the new signing deal between WWE and New Japan?
Man, this is my damn show. We will get to it when we get to it.
Oh, sounds good. I'm just checking.
How do you feel about the time limit thing, though, Tony the Kid?
A time limit between the wrestling wise?
Like every single match they have, they're always announce that this is a 20-minute, this is a 30-minute, this whatever kind of time limit. But WWE, like if you notice it, they took it off many
They haven't
ago.
had for years. Yeah.
Yeah, there's many moons ago they took that away. How do you feel about that?
I think right now it's actually good for them. I would say I'm good with the time limit just because in the back of the wrestler's mind, if they're upcoming in a sense, like let's say for instance in this point, let's say Austin Theory, hey, you got a time limit now, you're with the new company, you got to go out there and shine. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes of this match, go out there, make a name for yourself, make some noise. Your daddy, previous daddy over here before was letting you get away with a lot of stuff, but right now you got to show your worth. 10 minutes, let it go.
I'll say I like the time limit. Always have, always will.
Yep.
Because then there's some urgency towards the end.
Right.
It gets
There
a
you
little
go.
better. There's a little more intensity.
Mhm.
There isn't so much like, you know, let's just sit on the ropes and get into an arm bar and, you know, or let me throw you outside the ring and walk around for 5 minutes and you know, Jim Duggan,
Jim Duggan,
right? He always loved walking around outside.
he did.
Right.
Him and like heel Rock would always love walking around outside for sure.
And like with the time limit too, it doesn't hurt either wrestler. It actually helps them make both look stronger.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, agreed. Because also too, let's put it this way: you do something like that, and like how Kent just said, like stay on the outside, walk around, make some nuisance. Let's put it this way: when you got a heel that's trying to really agitate the crowd, what they're gonna do the most? They're gonna slide out the ring. They're gonna agitate the crowd members that's around right over there at the ringside, and they're just gonna sit there for longest period of time just talking trash. And a lot of times that amps up the crowd even more. So it helps.
Yeah. I like it. That's
I like
a
it.
thing you does really well.
Yeah.
AEW.
Man, you can't.
Ew. I think is how you pronounce that.
Oh, so since we're on top of AEW, they had their pay-per-view this past weekend.
Yep.
And I mean, it was predictable what was going to happen with MJF winning the title from John Moxley and Regal turning on Moxley. I mean, you could.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Can we talk about MJF's after his promo afterwards, man? How great that was.
Well, and like what's funny with the whole thing is like he's been referring to himself as the devil since he's come back. You know, never to trust the devil and what he's been doing. He already did it like one time in Buffalo where he came out as a face and like, hey, I fooled you guys or whatever, fooled the crowd and went back to being a heel. And now acting like he's going to be a good guy when he's their top heel. He's going to be the top heel. He's perfect at it. He's the better version of the Miz. He's the Miz with actual wrestling talent.
He's definitely a better version of Ric Flair. The way I think the other thing is too is what I saw with
beady eyes right now.
His mic skills.
You are looking at the scooter right now because right now you would have been kicked out by security.
I mean, he's getting. I'm like this.
Kent would have bleeded.
You're muted.
Kent would have bladed his head and been bleeding all over you right now.
But you got to look at it this way: what you're looking and when you're hearing MJF. It is really mind-boggling that he's only getting better. He's only growing. And it's even It is crazy. That promo he did after the match with Tony Khan, and his verbiage, his flow, his attitude, his presence, especially to the the reporters, it is on that level, and it's getting, like I said, it's only going to get better. And I'm actually surprised and really excited to see him moving forward now.
And I mean, when he's on, you want to watch.
Definitely.
Yeah. And what's funny when he's talking, he's name dropping. He's actually dropping actual WWE wrestlers, former, past, current, whatever. And you never got that before.
No,
you may get them by like the real name or whatever, but he's actually saying their character names live on TV and stuff. And it's kind of like, I mean, to segue into your New Japan thing with WWE right now, AEW had to deal with New Japan. WWE's now got to deal with New Japan. Is New Japan going to be where we have our super card with AEW and WWE superstars? Oh, look at this!
Wow, you got the double point there. Okay.
I pay attention to patterns and stuff, and that's the pattern I see where we're not going to get it with WWE. They're not going to have New Japan and AEW come on their show, but New Japan has no problem having AEW and WWE on their show.
Shinsuke's coming up against someone from New Japan.
Someone.
I don't know how to say his name. That's the Butcher's on the screen, not here. That's I respect the person. Butcher.
Don't even ask me what his name, how to pronounce it. I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna say that guy. That's it.
That's why I said the Butcher is on the screen, not here.
Nope. Not even gonna try to attempt it. I barely got Shinsuke Nakamura's name down packed just because of SG3 saying it so much every single time we talk about wrestling. So that being said, with this other guy that he's facing, I don't know. But it's actually exciting to see him work with Triple H and do something outside of WWE. That's exciting.
I think Shinsuke, he really needs that. I mean,
yes. Confidence booster.
It's confidence booster, character, and kind of regain his passion. Because like what Vince does, especially with the Japanese wrestlers, it's like he only picks like one. He doesn't pick a bunch of them. He picks one. True. And doesn't use them to their best of their ability. And like again, Bret Hart and Jericho and all these other guys who went over to New Japan or wrestled Japanese wrestlers, like they're phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's just the American audience isn't used to seeing them and seeing their product and not getting broadcast properly. And hopefully now this new deal with New Japan, we can see more of that.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's what it's actually being. It's not for New Japan to get like bigger. I just feel like it's for New Japan to come over. Because WWE is over, AEW is over, but New Japan isn't over here. Unless you're like yourself, like us, diehard wrestling fans, you don't really know much about New Japan. Again, I don't want to.
In New Japan down by Chinatown.
Wow.
I thought it was down by the other side of Greektown too.
No, he'll just take them and make them a tag team and call them Orient Express.
That's it.
I mean, look what he did with Taka and Funaki.
Oh, Kaientai.
See what I'm no. He was one of my favorite wrestlers, man, growing up.
Taka Michinoku, yeah.
Taka Michinoku was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up.
Cruiserweight Championship just for him when they signed him, the big deal. And that's kind of what that's what I'm saying. What he does, he'll get like
or to Julie
for a while. Man, you got a robot over here.
That's why I'm looking at the robot for him. I'm like, what are you saying?
Or even to Jury.
Fries and a Dr. Pepper, please.
No, I think right.
And then
and a Diet Coke. But yeah, and like for me, like also with the AEW pay-per-view, we had the return of Paige or Saraya and her first match against Britt Baker, the DMD. They could not have had a better opponent for her than Britt. Britt carried Paige in that match, or Saraya, whatever you want to refer to her as. What I didn't like is how they had Paige win that in her debut, kind of what they had with Punk when he came out. He wasn't wrestling for years. Comes in, wins against their homegrown talent. But I think what this is going to do for Britt, the fans see what Britt did in that match, and they like her more now. It's like when you lose, but you win.
So do you think they're going to make her face?
She's the face of the company. They're going to make her a face of the company. I mean, they have Hayter right now as a champion, but Britt will be like, she will be rewarded for that. all this AEW talk has got Kent to run out. Oh, hey, mic check. Should I go over here more? Yeah, what is it? It's on the shirts though. It's on the merchandise, so it's fine.
Oh, and it's also on me too. That's right.
Oh, look at that, representing a shirt that they did not pay for.
That's it.
What are you talking about?
You paid for? Oh, yeah. Oh. The
Yeah,
producer
we pay for it.
money, not tell the salesman. Keep that for our sponsorship money, Kent. Maybe I'll actually get some signage finally. I like nothing more than during my brother's show tomorrow. You have Tom's Productions on there, and
I'll do it.
And ask him why did Adam have nipples? That's all you gotta ask him tomorrow. Flash on jumbotron
Or a belly button.
or a belly button, nipples and belly button.
That's it. All right, so it's time now for best of worst of. I don't have the music queued up, but
Why
well,
not?
That's the way it goes.
Man, the producer is falling apart. He's gone one show, and
I've
it's
got to
just
get it on the
down.
soundboard because it doesn't play through the computer anymore. So I got to get it on the soundboard.
Wow.
So best of worst of. Here we go. We do this every week. Best of worst of. The big news today, if you heard the WWE, did you hear about Gabby Butler?
No.
That's silent. All right, so Gabby Butler, if you know who Gabby Butler is from the Netflix show Cheer, Cheer, right? So Cheer. She has agreed to a deal with the company during an exclusive interview. She said, "Yep, I signed on with WWE." She last appeared for the WWE in Nashville when the company held tryouts during their SummerSlam week.
Oh, same as Dwight Howard.
Stating that she was blown away by what they put on, mentioning how she fell in love with wrestling after attending the tryout. The 24-year-old stated that she is very new to the sport of professional wrestling, having spent most of her time focusing on gymnastics world and cheerleading. When talking about the comparisons between Cheer and the WWE, Butler laughed, stating that during the tryout, it was like I was watching a cheerleading competition, but wrestling edition. So if you Google her, pretty girl, very pretty, very pretty.
That's all Kent actually need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So I can't see it. You don't do the pictures anymore in our
So
show? Man, the producer is falling apart.
I'll get one up here. And now, so the best of worst of celebrities that signed on with the WWE.
Oh, I mean WWE, man. No,
Or WCW, whichever
Man,
way.
Let me do this one.
Health.
I go first. I got worst stuff. I'll start with worst stuff. Snooki. Worst signing I ever saw in my life being a celebrity. Snooki. Who in the right mind signs Snooki to be a celebrity fighter or whatever case it be?
Conversation last show, though. The show that Kent didn't show up to.
What? About best of worst of
Well, best and worst celebrities we're talking about.
We
did best of worst of cash-ins. Money in the Bank cash-ins.
Cash-ins, I could have sworn we talked about celebrities before.
I think we did because we talked about Logan Paul and how well he did.
I think that was on a show that got cut.
The show didn't make the cutting room floor.
Make the cutting room floor. They get
right. So yeah, I'll go with that. Now, do I do best of too?
Yeah, best of
whatever.
Oh, best of. I'll go with I guess thus far Bad Bunny. I'll go with Bad Bunny. Pretty did well.
Man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
If I was to go next, I'll say worst of probably Maria Menounos.
You like Maria?
Nah, man. I mean,
she can at least talk.
She's pretty.
She
Like,
knows
don't get me
wrestling.
wrong. Yeah, she's pretty. She did not do anything for the wrestling event. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So why was she on? Just to go like this the whole time? Like nothing was done. Would you guys still consider Logan Paul a celebrity though?
He's a celebrity.
Yeah, that's best stuff for me. Logan Paul recently. I'll go with him.
Okay.
I one up you, Tony the Kid.
Yeah. So far. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You going, Kent?
No, you go.
No, you go.
No, the producer goes last because he's the producer.
No, he came up with the question. I let him go.
Well, I think because I'm a basketball fan, one of the best was it's a duo when Rodman and the Mailman. were on. I think that was WCW, but that was, I think, one of the best.
I mean, he asked the question about
Right.
WWE and then answers WCW and
Right,
trying to.
I did.
Well,
I sure
technically,
did.
though, WWE does own WCW.
Yeah,
so
but
it
not at that
counts.
time.
Worst I'm gonna say is because I'm a basketball fan as well. Was LeVar, Lonzo, and LaMelo Ball.
Yes, that was awful.
Y'all forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about
No, that
it.
was going to say LeVar.
Yeah,
So you got to
awful.
change
On
the
him
answer
on-
now. You can't be the same as
Well, I can't change. Yeah,
I mean, awful.
so because he said that, I'm going to say my worst was probably Jay Leno.
Yes.
I was about to say he had a skit.
He came
I
out.
totally forgot about that guy.
Now he could.
Oh wow!
Too
Man,
soon.
man, I'm bad. And our show's been canceled.
Jay, thanks for listening. We do appreciate that. Yeah, on the screen as a quick pic of Gabby Butler there.
All right.
So
You're right. She is a pretty girl.
that's just I put that out there just so you'd have an idea who she was.
And so then for me, like worst, I mean, or now the best after the worst being Jay Leno. Up until recently with Logan Paul, like what he did is phenomenal. Third match and every match he's been in, he's putting a work in.
He really is.
So mine's my all-time favorite. One of my favorite comedians, Andy Kaufman.
Oh yeah.
What he-
Man on the moon.
The Man on the Moon, what he did for wrestling back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Feud with Lawler, getting national mainstream on Letterman. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a skinny little guy, but he was an actor.
Terribly skinny.
I mean, he's an actor from Hollywood that people hated. And he played that character so well that they actually voted him off Saturday Night Live, where he was never allowed to be on the show again.
I love
And-
also when Jerry Lawler would sometimes introduce Monday and talk trash about Andy.
Yeah.
That was great. Like that was like it's not just a talk anymore. It's like a personal feud. Like you can
Right.
feel it, and
And
that's awesome.
You felt that was real. Like
Yeah.
you felt the heat and what they were doing behind the scenes. Like they're laughing their asses off at everyone else. And like the executives like, no, you got to stop that now or whatever. Like, no, we're getting ratings or people are watching and now they're tuning in to Mid-South Wrestling and see what he's going to do. And he had the paralyzed neck and like the long-term storytelling that he had with all that. Too.
That was amazing.
The slap heard around the world.
Yep.
Yeah. Zach Attack says Logan Paul goes under worst of. Got to do it. And best Bunny.
He's only saying that because of his brother.
Yeah, like him. That's true. But I think to chime in what Tom said, I totally agree with the Andy Hoffman one. I think we talked about last time, like you said, when they did what's it called, Territories TV show, and they discussed it. It's a whole like perspective of the difference in time frame of just what he did behind the scenes, made it so much better for the wrestling world, and it was a trendsetter moving forward to things that we could not even fathom with somebody doing it now.
I like they said, he's the man on the moon. He was ahead of his time. Like,
yeah,
his vision, what he had back in the early 80s, he was way ahead of everyone in this world.
I agree. The fact that he wanted to keep it so real and making it happen even when he was doing his TV show Taxi, if I'm not mistaken, it was.
Right.
And just even doing it behind the scenes and during the Taxi series, it's like just to tell you that in his mind, he's like, if you don't believe in it, then how is anyone else going to believe in it? Right. So that's the thing. He played the part, and he did a hell of a job.
Intergender champion of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
that's right.
Time we'll probably have that belt within the next 5 years.
Facts. Facts.
First, though, AEW or WWE.
That'd probably be TNA.
They were about to have one actually with the whole James Ellsworth.
No.
They were actually pitching that idea for him. Yeah, they're actually dropping the storyline of him coming out saying I'm a woman and then just going with that whole thing.
Oh, I mean, technically, the Intercontinental Champion was
one
of those in a hardcore
show. SGP over there saying he's a woman.
You know, hey,
get him a bro.
And we just went down to 0 views.
That's not a flattering view of me. You think you can? Let's get that camera off.
There you go.
All right.
Good stuff. So that is the best of worst of right here.
So here's my question for you guys. I got another. I'm going to flip it around now.
Oh,
who are you going to take Survivor Series match between AEW and WWE. Your top 5 from AEW versus the top 5 of WWE. Who are your 5 to go against each other?
Oh.
Funny, had to let you go first.
All right. I guess on the AEW side of things, I'll start on the AEW side. If I was AEW, you want to do your top 5, you definitely want to put in Jungle Boy, MJF, Omega. If he wasn't hurt, you would put Adam Cole. Okay, if he wasn't hurt. And then the other one would definitely have to be what's his face? That Brian Cage. I know he's in AEW if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'd go with Wardlow over him though.
See, that's me. I'm not too sure about Wardlow. I've seen his work, and it's a little, I don't know. I feel like he's a little dangerous to work with.
So you're saying he's an old school Ryback?
Give or take. Give or take.
Work with charisma.
Now, you know what? The charisma part, yes, but the work ethic part, I see a lot of Ryback, and that's dangerous. So that's why I'd probably pick over Brian Cage at the moment. I wouldn't pick a Jericho just because he's, I'm sorry, he can't even.
What are you talking about?
He can barely move. I can't pick Chris Jericho.
The seats, that's all that matters.
No, he's like right now. To me at this point with Chris Jericho, it seems like a Ric Flair. You don't know when to just let go. That's all.
Spray on Jericho's 6-pack before every show.
The spray on? Give him a spray on 6-pack?
I've never seen one of those for ourselves. Like, honestly, man. I feel so catchy when you look at him like
that is the softest 6-pack I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, coming into the studio. And
please chime in one time.
Please do. But yeah, that would be my AEW top 5. On the WWE standpoint, you definitely got to pick Roman, Seth. You got to put in. I totally forgot about Dean Ambrose or what's John Moxley on the AEW side. No, that's fine. I'll put in. Seth, Roman, definitely AJ. Who's their big guy? I'm not picking Braun. I'll pick Bobby.
Yeah,
you pick Bobby, small guy. You gotta go with Finn Balor for some odd reason. I would actually put Finn Balor in there too, another small guy. And then what's my last dude? No, yeah, AJ, Roman, Seth, Bobby, AJ, and Finn. There you go. That'll be my 5.
All right, what do you got over there?
All right, cool. For me, AEW wise, I'll go Moxley, unlike Tony the Kid. I'll go MJF, go Kenny Omega, and last but not least, you know what? Also, I'll go Jungle Boy because he kind of won me over this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He won the good team, so I can go with that. WWE side, Roman, Seth, just for the heck of it, for the reunion, the Shield reunion. Give me Bobby as well. Give me KO though. Give me KO.
Ooh, that's nice.
You see what I did there? And then last but not least on the WWE side, give me another big guy. Give me Sheamus.
Oh,
all right. Yeah. Vintage. Yeah. You went with experience there. I like that.
Why not? You know what they say? Experience wins matches.
Yeah.
That's
hey,
why.
That's
why I kept putting over that young talent this past WrestleMania.
Good writer.
Tom, what about you?
All right, so AEW, I'm going to go with Wardlow,
of course,
MJF,
okay,
Brian Danielson, however you want to say his name.
Totally forgot about that guy.
Omega, and one no one has said anything about Hook.
Okay,
Hook.
Taz's son, the cold handsome devil, whatever. I mean, he just comes in, chokes you out, in and out. I like mostly the homegrown talent that they have. I know I have Bryan Danielson in there, but like I was a toss up between Danielson and Guevara. Those two would be like
Guevara's good.
He's
Guevara's
the
good.
future. I mean, that's why I think they have the future right there. They have MJF, Wardlow, Guevara. I mean, it's right there. Their future. Hook too. Like that's their homegrown talent. They cannot let any of those guys go.
Makes sense,
Yeah.
If those guys go, it's going to really hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
And WWE side, I mean, I'm a Brock fan. I'm always going to take Brock.
So I got the toy.
That's why I got the toy. He's my guy. Yeah, that's my guy. Right now, Roman, KO. I just want Sammy in there for the comic relief, you know.
That's what I just thought of. I'm like, why not put Uzi up in there? Let him do a little
Uso right now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be Sammy Uso, y'all.
He will be pretty soon.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what? I want to go with our guy you guys didn't say yet. The future of the business, Braun Breaker.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Not bad.
The Steiner without the name of Steiner.
Right. He'll
That's
be
true.
Steiner when he gets called up.
Yeah, that's true. I think when he does actually finally get called to the main roster, he's gonna take over that side name.
Right now.
I don't know anybody.
I got Sting, Regal, Big Show, Mark Henry,
Yeah, those are the ones I
and
know.
Jericho.
Those are
That's
the-
on kid side of things. Wow.
And then we're gonna have to go with Bret Hart. We'll go with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. We got the whole Heart
Foundation.
Heart Foundations.
The Rock, Stone Cold.
Gonna be in the corner,
Talking trash.
and then we'll throw in for the fifth. We'll throw in Hogan.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Look at that. He just right off the top like that. That's awesome. All right.
You gotta get the Hulk up. That's you gotta.
I'm talking about current roster.
Oh,
now, not-
I was about to say,
we can go back old school if you want.
Yeah, hey, we could go old school with WCW. We could do War Games, all those guys.
Who is your top five after this round?
Gosh, yeah. Who's your top five?
You have one team to put together. Who's your team to put together?
because we have to go top 5 of AEW. Because
No, you could do AEW, you could do WWE, like your top 5 pro wrestlers. If you want to do now, past, present, like you go.
Ooh.
We should bring the old man. We should have the old man comment for that one.
Yeah, he loves that one. I like that one.
Who would love that question?
Well, why ain't you watching my damn show?
Because he's working.
Well, take a break.
You
That's
can't.
what I said.
Listen,
That's what I said.
Listen,
He
well,
can listen,
I
but he
do all the
can't
time.
comment the voice.
Sometimes I do comment while I'm working. You know,
gosh, you know what? The Wolf Pack. I mean, there's so many. I'm telling you, Conan, get Conan in there,
I miss Conan. K-Dog.
right?
K-Dog.
Come on
man.
now.
K-Dog.
See, I can never be a fan of his. I just couldn't get behind him.
How could you not, man?
I don't know why. I just
He seemed like a total douche. He seemed like a total
he's
douche.
a thug for most part. The way how he dressed and acted for
That's
most
what
part,
he-
and
It's kind of.
it was kind of like when Cena was a thug too. Like I don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like Thugonomics.
Cena with Thugonomics.
I still don't like You Can't See Me. There's a lot about Cena I don't like, but
Is
he
it because
carried
you can't
for a
see him?
while. Yeah. I don't know. John, thanks for saying that.
Yeah, thanks for coming to our show again.
He comes on a show every single week.
Every week, John. So just-
Well, it's funny. It's like with Cena, it's like I don't like him either, but it's like the way how my kids and I say I love you in a way.
Right.
Like my son Josh, that's our. He'll be playing basketball. He's on the court shooting a free throw or going to grab a rebound on the bench. We just do that to each other. It's like our I love you to each other. I don't care for
Sweet.
Cena, but that's like our
it.
little
That's good.
signal.
We should have a signal for old man.
That's
Yeah.
we do both. We do both.
Yeah, I mean, come on, because you
Double
can't, you gotta have, man, well, you top 5, man. So
you got it.
Jeez.
you need the balance, or you're just going to go all big, all dominant.
No, I mean,
High
I
flying?
look at who changed things, right? So I mean, even though I'm not a big Bret Hart fan, he was a big deal, right? So he changed the wrestling a little bit. You got Austin, who changed, really swung in
lot.
the Attitude Era. You got Rock, who still changes things.
Yeah.
Like, those 3 right there. Then you got Hogan, because Hogan brought it into the new
Right.
style, right?
Yeah.
From Bob Backlund to Hogan. So
The entertainment style.
the entertainment style, and
From
then
the chicken
Flair.
wing, from the
You-
chicken wing to the hype man, all
right.
day.
There you got Ric Flair. You can't bounce him out either.
You know that's crazy because that would be actually my top 5 from old school wrestling. You got to put in Hulk, like Mount Rushmore 5 guys.
Yeah.
Austin, Rock, Rick, Hogan, and Brett. All like you just have to put them in there. They're just I don't know what it is. It's they mean history.
I'm telling you, that's who I would go with.
Yeah.
All time 5 and AEW.
Well, you don't have to have AEW. I mean, I think
Because they've been around for so long. You know?
wow.
I guess you got to put in Cody. You got to put in Omega.
Actually,
Who else?
putting in Cody. You know what? Dang it! I should have put in Cody
For your 5
for my 5. Yeah,
Survivor Series.
Or this torn
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh my God, totally forgot about that guy.
with his chest out like this.
The guy's been missing so much. Like, yeah, he's been missing. Yeah, I would have picked that too.
His name is still there, though.
It is.
Remember, his name is still there. Speaking of names, rumors are true. Do you think that? Yes or no? Matt Cardona's coming to the WWE.
Oh, he'll be back.
Supposedly, Chelsea Green's coming in. So with that deal, it's like
Right.
bringing in Matt Cardona in as well.
Well, did you hear he was pissed off at them for a while because they
Who?
contacted Chelsea and not him to use his pool for a video segment for Raw, I think with Otis and Mandy or something.
Okay.
It was a couple years ago, and he's a free agent or was just released from the company. They contacted his girlfriend, not him, to come to his house to go shoot the videos, and he's like, "No, screw you guys."
Wow.
But he'll be back. I mean, he's one of those. It's like Drew McIntyre and Cody. You left, you reestablished yourself, and now you're going to be, when he comes back, main eventer kind of guy.
Yeah.
And for him, I think him going to AEW wouldn't do anything for AEW.
Hey, no, it wouldn't.
But him going back to WWE, yeah, you got Zack Ryder, woo woo woo.
As long as he stays away from that person.
One guy. Okay.
As long as he keeps Matt Cardona, what's been building
Right.
him, it
Yeah.
works. If he goes back to Long Island,
I
IZ,
see,
and
yeah.
all that stuff, it's just it's a stupid gimmick. It's like, why'd you bring him back
Right.
then?
Well, I mean, that's why, yeah, they did that with Cody. Like, no more Stardust gimmick or whatever. Did with McIntyre, like, no, you're not the chosen one kind of thing like that anymore. You're not the skinny Irish guy or whatever it was. And now it's like they're more developed. They hone their craft. So a lot of times what they do is they try to like release the guy to see where their passion really is
Makes sense.
and makes them wake up or not. Like, goes like Triple H or even Vince at the time, where they go, "Hey, we don't have anything for you right now. Maybe go over here and work on this, work on your promo skills, get bigger, get stronger, and come back." Some of the guys, they just fall apart as soon as they're cut. Like,
That's
they
true.
stop working out, they get depressed. But then you got the hungry guys that go and actually work on it and like, "Hey, look, I'm making a name for myself." They're like, "Hey, you know what? We see what you did. We can build around you now."
Yeah.
And now you're actually helping our product and you're not just sitting in catering all night.
Makes sense.
That's true. Now, that being said, though, would we say the same thing with Andrade? Because it seems like he's leaving AEW.
But Andrade, he just wants out so he can be with Charlotte and go back to WWE. I mean,
I don't understand why he left in the first place. Why did he leave WWE?
was he released?
He requested his
Or
release.
requested his leave? Well, yeah,
He was requesting his release for a while, but I think he was requesting it
that's during the Vince era, though.
during because
No.
Vince
A lot of
wasn't
them were.
using him,
Right.
and he was like, "I just wanted to go back with Triple H, and you just never
Right.
let me." So
He was an NXT guy that was developed great with Triple H and with Vince. So there's a bunch of guys like before Vince retired where they just weren't. They're getting treated poorly once they're called up to the main roster.
Back.
all NXT guys,
All NXT.
Every single one.
except for except for the Shield, when they got called up,
Mm.
they had their moment, and then they just catapulted, like basically
Right.
like coming out of like going from
And
from
those
heel to
guys
face.
until Saturday were the champions in every company.
I mean, if you think about it, also when they were in WWE, they basically had the tag team title, the Intercontinental title, and then also the world title with Reigns.
Yeah.
It's like they built it, and they are really the only ones coming out of NXT who
Right.
got big.
Well, I mean, you had Nexus there for a bit, and the problem with the Nexus angle was
Stop it.
they
Stop it. Please mute his mic.
they got squashed because of Cena
Yeah.
at what Survivor Series. It made no sense. Here's Super Cena wins against 3 of their guys by himself. Like, you just completely destroyed this group that was supposed to be super powerful, coming up and taking over, making a name for themselves. And we have to have the fans go home happy was Vince's thing. And Cena, you're going to beat them, and now they don't matter anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think the other thing is why Vince really adored the Shield was because, let's be honest, Roman. He saw Roman being his next, Samoan guy. Oh, he's my next The Rock, and I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna cater to him, and the crowd is gonna love him. All this kinds of stuff. He comes for the heritage. nobody's not gonna want to see him. He's gonna be blockbuster money. So let me invest it to that guy. That was a big.
I mean, if you watch any of the Young Rock shows, you see what Vince loved the Rock's grandmother and the Rock's family, like anything for them, like in that show. I mean, just when you watch it, you see the behind the scenes how Vince actually was.
I mean, even on screen, like you saw it. You saw the love for the Rock. It's like, if you think about it, with the Rocky Maivia stuff, he would not have anyone under the Vince age. They would not have gotten a second chance.
No.
Nobody was like, all right, look, dude, you know what? We got your idea. It sucked. Bye. Here's a door. Right. Just give me a mic. Let me be me. Give me a mic. And I'll show you the fact that you signed one of the best guys in basically the future of your company. Cool. Here's a mic. Go ahead. Go on. Do what you got to do. The Rock born. Nation domination. Go forward.
And that's a difference, right? Because now you'll see Roman Reigns laugh when somebody breaks character or tries to ad lib. Right. Just to laugh right at him. I can't believe you're doing this, you idiot.
Oh, yeah. Like, who was it? Was it Drew or Sheamus, like, that stumbled towards the ring the other day? And, like, you can't walk the ring, and your microphone doesn't even work. Like, I would be afraid of you.
But I feel like the breaking character is supposed to make him face.
Right.
Because, like, they're trying to, supposedly they're trying to push him to be face. So I feel that, like, they're trying to.
Yeah, it's the rumor right now. They're trying to get Bloodline more face. They didn't want to do it, but with this whole Sammy Uso angle going on, and they're so over, it doesn't matter what they do.
Right.
Like, they can't even be tough.
I mean, they're even doing like their little segments behind the scenes, and Jey Uso's still laughing, like when he goes, "Hey, let's go to Waffle House. It's on me," kind of thing, and he just starts belly laughing.
Who's coming in and beating him though?
Cody. Yeah. Cody's gonna do it.
All right, like I said before,
WrestleMania. The Rock's gonna face him at WrestleMania.
Well, yeah, we have The Rock is going to face Roman at WrestleMania. Then you got Cena probably going against Logan Paul at WrestleMania. That'll probably be night 1 main event. Roman and Rock will be night 2 main event. The main event is what I
still feel that Cody's going to come in. Some way, somehow, Cody's going to come in.
That's just your dream. Sorry, buddy.
Here's why, dude. Here's why. Can you have? Let's put it. Roman's WrestleMania 39 happens. Rock beats Roman. Can you have Cody beat Rock?
Yeah,
you can. Because at this point, it's like all it was just a title. It was a title holder. So at that point, you're not just almost slapping the Rock's legacy.
See, what I think they got to do is at War Games this weekend, they have to have Sammy interfere, cost. There it goes.
Wait a minute. So what you're picking if Rock faces Roman, that The Rock's going to win?
I think so.
The Rock will beat Roman.
Oh. But he won't do it for
You're just on Roman's nuts. That's why you think that he's not.
No, because we got to remember this too.
If championship when The Rock's gonna be running for president, man, think about all those times he's gonna be going around with that belt. Publicity's gonna be a pure Vince McMahon thing right there. That's a pure Vince move. He'd have Rock win the belt, showcase it on all the movies again, and with his political.
Yeah, no, you gotta pick Roman. You gotta pick Roman to win at WrestleMania. You gotta finally shut the chapter of The Rock returning again.
No, I never shut down the chapter of The Rock.
I'll tell you what, you give it to the American Nightmare. You come in.
Thank you.
Takes him out.
Thank you.
Take him out.
See, look at that. Producer agrees with me.
That's what I'm saying.
I think right now they're setting up where, Sammy interferes somehow. Him and Jay start going at it again. Maybe cost Roman a match against KO, whether it's for a title or not. Could be Roman's first pin in 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Or
could be.
Roman actually gets pinned. Maybe this Saturday, Roman gets pinned because Sammy did something and KO gets the cover.
Or
but it's not for the belt.
Or what happens is Roman loses the title, and then Rock gets it back, and then they do what Hogan and the Diesel did. Just touch him and down he goes.
Finger poke of doom.
Yeah, finger poke of doom. And then Roman pins the Rock, and they both get up, hands up, and
walk away. Or I know you remember the segment Triple H versus Shawn Michaels on Raw, where all Triple H was just like a chest bump, and then just runs back and forth, and then just does like a super splash, and then covers him, and then Shawn is over there crying. Do you remember that
I
segment?
vaguely remember that.
Oh, dude, it was hilarious. I was 6 years old when I was watching this. I was cracking up.
There was you'll be shocked, Ken. There was a brief time, like when Brett was gone, I didn't watch any WWF.
I'm not
Yep.
surprised.
Oh, I was so pissed. Like I was beyond pissed with the screw job again. This is the 25th
Hey,
anniversary. If you
I
didn't
agree
know,
with Chico, man. I think it was all set up. They didn't look too upset.
okay, all right. This is what we're going to end the show with today. So it's the
I love
25th
this.
anniversary of the screw job with Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. It's Survivor Series. You can't go without Survivor Series without ever not talking about it. This is what happened a year prior, or you may have even been that earlier that year. Shawn Michaels was your champion. He refused to drop the belt to Vader.
Yeah.
Didn't like Vader being rough, kind of like a ride back to him in a way in the ring. Refused. Vince says, okay, Shawn, then you drop it to Sid. Brett did the exact same thing a year ago or a year later. He was willing to drop to The Undertaker in Canada. He just didn't want to drop to Shawn at Montreal. That was it. Vince said no, or said yes, but then ultimately no. Vince was bent over backwards for Shawn.
He really did.
He still does. He didn't do anything for Shawn. With Brett, who was honorable, respectful, like of all the wrestlers in there, Brett would never carry the belt to WCW and throw it in the trash. He loves the business. I mean, he's homegrown, born into it.
Yep.
It wasn't a work.
I don't know. I think it was.
No, it could be. I would have to agree with Tom. I don't think it was a work. I think it was a jackass move, and Vince was just super scared. And the way you look at the history is that you can see Vince and more likely Stu Hart not even be on the same page, same link with each other. But he knew for the fact that how do I make my name global? How to make WWE brand global? I gotta hire the Canadians. I gotta bring them over to my thing. I gotta give them some type of highlightness or whatever, just so my industry can get money. And ever since Shawn came on the picture, you could just tell he just favoritism Shawn. That was like his so-called son in the ring that was given.
That's what Shawn was doing with Vince behind the scenes, and that's
it.
Is that why he did that promo so well against
Shawn-
that one fan?
Shawn was the head wrestler.
He was the head ref.
That's why you know what promo I'm talking about.
He knew how to give ahead and get ahead.
If you know him. If you know him.
All right.
All right, listen, that puts us just over the time limit. Survivor Series this Saturday for all of us here at 21.6 Net. This has been, let me tell you something, brother, the most electrifying show here on 21.6. Listen, be safe, enjoy Thanksgiving, eat a bunch of turkey, lay around, and then watch Survivor Series. Come back on Sunday for the Reject Rundown, and life will be good.
And next show, I'm going to do a teaser.
Ooh.
Speaking of war games,
Nip, slip.
we know what Kent's going to be doing later tonight. Favorite games, wrestling based,
Oh, favorite game.
not video games.
Right. I love it. I'm in.
Nice.
Teaser.
Card games too.
There we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for getting caught in the net. This has been, let me tell you something, brother.